Eric Snow and Allen Iverson for the Sixers. Sean Marion, Amare Stoudemire, Williams, Marbury, and Hardaway for the Phoenix Suns. Our officials tonight, Jimmy Clark, Hugh Hollins, and Rodney Mott, with Hall of Fame coach John Thompson and NBA All-Star Danny Ainge and Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. It's Marion, picked up by Thomas, and Marbury and Iverson. The matchup we've been waiting for. They go inside, and McCulloch knocked it away.
Well, Marbury got the ball late in the shot clock, tried to attack the basket and draw the foul. No call, but these guys are really fired up every time they play against one another.
It's Allen Iverson over Marion, and it's Scott Williams rebound. Ahead it goes with Marbury to Marion. Gets his own miss, then lost it to Allen Iverson, who races the other way. Big pace to start this game.
Well, tremendously big pace. They're going up and down the floor. I've got to think the athleticism of Phoenix, that's to their advantage, and particularly with those two great forwards they have out there, in Amare Stoudemire and also Sean Marion.
It's Eric Snow out of Michigan State who nails the game's first basket.
And that's amazing. Get the ball in the low post. They have on there to down double team, wide open shot for Eric Snow.
Marion with another shot. And now he is 0 of 2. There's the hustle of Scott Williams, a guy this team needs a lot in the middle.
Well, because he's a blue-collar worker, particularly there. You've got a worker who put Scott Williams, who's also a hard worker. Those three guys on the front line, the two forwards that I mentioned before, and Stoudemire and also Sean Marion, you put Scott Williams, that's a very aggressive front line. Those guys have got to be touched and boxed out.
Hardaway is screened by McCulloch. Shot clock at 8. Slithering down the lane. It's Iverson to Brian Skinner.
Two spectacular plays back-to-back by Marbury and Iverson. These guys, like I said, their blood gets boiling when they play. They came out of the draft in '96. They've been trying to prove who's better ever since. And Marbury is playing as good as any basketball guard in the league right now. He started off slow this year. Beautiful drive right there. Gets by Iverson. Iverson does him a favor, goes right here, penetration, easy dish for Brian Skinner on the inside. But these two got with him, talked to him, and they looked at it as an opportunity to get a young kid that has overcome all of the tragedies that have gone on in his life and some instability. And when they saw his work ethic, desire to get better, and skill, they thought it was a no-brainer to take him at number 9.
Allen Iverson takes it inside. Johnny's got 2.
Well, that was beautiful. He came down. I love the way Allen is playing right now because he doesn't look like he's pressing. He's picking his spots, a couple of handoffs, and now he goes to the basket and gets a layup, and that's the best thing to improve your shooting percentage.
Stoudemire takes off and draws the foul out of the Philly defense. It goes on McCulloch for the first time.
Well, and this is what I'm talking about. I mean, he's coming down. He's not putting himself in a situation where he's just scoring. He takes his time. He sees daylight and goes through the hole, gets a layup. Allen has not been shooting with a high percentage, but he's now, if he gets out in the fast break and gets layups, if he picks his time and penetrates, that'll get his jump shot going for him.
So here's Stoudemire at the free throw line. He nails his first. He is a 66% free throw shooter. Did I see that Jerry Colangelo, who runs the Suns organization, said he might be the very best player we've ever drafted?
I think he is. And, one thing I like about it, too, we talk about his fearlessness, but he gets to the free throw line. 15 free throw attempts in 2 games ago, 11 last game against Minnesota. The guy is fearless. He loves physical contact, and that's a great combination to have that athleticism and that fearlessness.
Iverson inside with the alley-oop to Tom McCulloch, who's from Canada, grew up playing hockey, and then when he outgrew his skates, he shifted to basketball, and now he stars in the NBA.
Well, and again, another uncontested layup. One by throwing the alley-oop.
Excuse me, boys and girls. That's why they call him the man-child.
Well, the thing about that shot that he made, it's not just a question of going to the basket and dunking. I mean, he goes through the basket with a passion like he's trying to tear your head off. It's just not a highlight film there.
Eric Snow working on Penny Hardaway. It's gobbled up by Stoudemire. Here comes the Phoenix Suns. They are 2 of 8 shooting from the floor. Marbury, who fires inside, can't get it to go. And the other way, Philadelphia 76ers, they're shooting 66% from the field.
Well, that's an example right there there, Marbury, trying to do a little bit too much. Early on the clock, get the ball moving if you don't have anything quick in transition. But I do love the adjustment that Frank Johnson's made early in this year of trying to get more tempo and create so Marbury can excel. Marion and Stoudemire all can play in the open court.
Penny Hardaway just picked up his first foul.
Well, and this is what you're talking about. I mean, this guy's going, Stoudemire's going to the basket. I mean, that's just unbelievable. He's not just trying to be pretty. He takes two guys to the rack and goes to the basket. Talking about fearless and passionate.
Hey, I mean, Brian Skinner is 6'10", 270 pounds. McCall is 7'3". I mean, it looked like those guys were guards.
Well, and you see guys make that dunk, but they make it when they're wide open. He did that on two people.
Shawn Marion has his first two tonight.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that he has not been shooting the ball as well as he'd like to. He's taking his time and letting the game come to him and getting his teammates involved.
It's Stoudemire inside once again, and Danny, it seems with every move he carves himself a niche, and he's got that room to shoot.
Hey, I saw him play this summer, and I'm watching him play right now in those two baskets. I've seen him play a couple times in person. I'm still in shock. If I'm an owner out there, I got to say, what in the world is this guy doing going number 9 in the draft? How does he slip past 8 teams? I mean, I can see Yao Ming, but after that, I don't understand.
Here's Iverson. Blown by Stoudemire, close by his own teammate, and slammed in by Kenny Thomas, who was uncovered. Coming off the wing, they just got that kid in a trade with Houston.
It was a great read by Thomas because Allen wasn't able to pitch it to him that time, but the defense still came, and he was able to get it over to him by following it.
Hardaway got poked in the eye, but put it in, and the Suns on a 12-2 run, and you see the ailing Penny Hardaway. Look inside. Marbury comes up with it. Hardaway, how can he see? He gets off the Marion, who flies inside and a foul. NBA history by a rookie directly from high school. He was absolutely sensational.
Well, the interesting thing, Kevin, about this kid is that in all the time that he was in high school, he never played 2 successive years for the same coach. And you got to learn something, so you got to learn through consistency, but he's learned through changing. I mean, the difference is the fact that he probably in the NBA is the first time he's ever had the same guy coach him 2 years in a row.
All right, the Suns have brought in a new player. That's Joe Johnson. As you take a look at Stoudemire, so Johnson is in there with Marion. Bo Outlaw now comes in for the first time. Stephon Marbury's on Iverson over here on the wing. They got Derek Coleman in for the first time for Philadelphia. Kenny Thomas goes inside to Derek Coleman, who continues, even though he is a shell, Danny, physically of what he was, to do the things like that which make this team better.
Well, he knows how to play. Derek is a great passer. He has a great mind, great vision for the game. He just isn't as athletic as he once was, but they need that low post threat right there. He should be able to take Bo if he's patient down on the post.
Outlaw hands off. Marion had it knocked away. Now it's Iverson weaving the other way for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, that's a great example of Allen's maturation process, too. He comes down, ordinarily he would have forced that break. He just pulled it out, and now they're running the offense.
Offensive foul. It's called on Philadelphia, and they put it on Todd McCullough, who picks up his second personal foul. The Philadelphia 76ers come into tonight having lost 3 of their last 4 under Larry Brown now in his 6th year. The Phoenix Suns, the hottest teams right now in the NBA under Frank Johnson, they have won 9 of their last 11 overall, including, John, 6 consecutive home games.
So Frank impressed me today in talking about how he goes around, talks to the players, tries to get a feel from them. Obviously, he's got them, as you see Bo Outlaw now, top of the press, he's got them with more intensity. This trap that they have, he gives all the credit to Bo Outlaw because he said he creates the tone, the aggressiveness, and the intensity.
I'd like to congratulate Frank, too, because at the Coach of the Year, or Coach of the Month for December, doing a fantastic job.
Snow missing again. Marion gets it. Neither team has hit a 3-point shot so far. Allen Iverson has started the game 1 of 6, and Stephon Marbury has started the game 1 of 3.
What these guys do in the first quarter means nothing. Marbury's had 2 30-point games through the second halves against 2 of the top defensive teams in basketball, San Antonio and Sacramento.
Here comes Bo Outlaw, who's known for his defense. Body style with another flush inside, his second in the first quarter. He's got 8 points for the Phoenix Suns. And look at the hustle of Bo Outlaw at the other end. And Joe Johnson there with the trap.
Well, Bo Outlaw's size is a factor, too. Anytime you can get a guy his size at the front of your traps, it's very difficult for a normal-sized point guard to see where his out.
Oh, cover your head, Coach Thompson, right there. Kevin's getting a little excited.
He's got 11 points. Cheryl Miller, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, guys, I'm sure you guys would agree with me that initially when they were talking about Rookie of the Year, hands down, it was Yao Ming, but Amare Stoudemire is trying to make a strong case for him tonight. Matter of fact, Stephon Marbury, who played with Kevin Garnett, was asked to compare the two of them coming out of high school, and Marbury said it's not even close. Garnett doesn't even compare. It's two different people. It's like Michael Jordan and Mario Ellen. Strong statement.
Wow. Well, Kevin Garnett is a spectacular player. Stoudemire only hopes to become as good a player as Kevin Garnett is. Let's not get too excited about Stoudemire. He's going to be special, though, Coach.
No, he's going to definitely be special. And their style of play, you know, this kid is more physical, goes to the basket, you know, fearless, going to come in at you, attack, attack, attack. Kevin can attack, but he doesn't have the body size. He also has more of a range of offense than this young man has right now. But I'd take either one on him.
No fouls to give either way. Stephon Marbury slides down the lane. Here comes Iverson. Will not count. The Suns have led by as many as 9. Led by Amare Stoudemire. 11 points in 12 minutes and 4 of 6 from the field. The Phoenix Suns, one of the hottest teams right now in the NBA, lead at the end of one, 23-16. You're watching the NBA on TNT. Thomas with the ball right now, working on Bo Outlaw. Snow. Aaron McKee, maybe their second best offensive weapon.
I agree, except Kenny Thomas is moving up that chart right now because another double team, and you can give that basket to Kenny Thomas because he went aggressive to the basket, swung it out to Snow, got the team rotating, so they got that presence on the post tonight.
Philadelphia's on a 7-0 run. This outside by Marion, a good-looking rebound by Stoudemire, tries to dig his way inside with a whistle and a foul. On Philadelphia, they're slapping away at him. Nope, just knocked out of bounds. No foul called. Suns will inbound. You take a look at the guard comparison of Iverson and Marbury.
Well, the thing I find most interesting is that Allen has only had 7 field goal attempts. He usually gets that in the first 5 minutes.
He has 23 games on. That's what he's averaging.
Well, absolutely.
And I think they'll still both get 23 before this is all said and done.
I like the shooting Iverson a lot more than I like the passing Iverson. I'll tell you that.
Thomas just picked up a foul, trying to guard Bo Outlaw. Thomas picks up his second foul. He does have a scorer's mentality.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, Allen is going to take shots. His field goal percentage, of course, is down low right now. You know, his assists, he's 33rd in assists. Well, that's not something that he's known for either. But in the same token, I still think that offensively, he creates a lot of problems, gets a lot of guys who are non-offensively minded open by his aggressive attitude out there.
Suns have 7 turnovers for Coach Frank Johnson. The Sixers have 6 turnovers in the game.
Well, these teams are both 2 of the best in forcing turnovers. Philadelphia scores more points off turnovers, but the last time they met, as they just turn it over into full court pressure, great job by Sean Marion. The Suns scored 32 points off of turnovers in their first meeting. And, you know, the Suns have got to take care of the ball, and the Sixers have to try to get turnovers through their defense.
Well, Frank Johnson has really a jewel of an outlaw being out the top of that defense, because anytime you get a big guy that's that agile, talking about agility in a big guy, you know, a big guy that's that agile in the front of a defense, he covers up guards.
Well, you know, we've seen him go 3 times hard to his right, actually 4 times now, and all his baskets going to his right hand. You'd think a rookie, you'd see if he can go to his left.
Iverson is 1 of 8. Indy Stoudemire has got a game-high 13. He'll stick right there. Kenny Thomas with the rebound. Here come the Sixers shooting 45%. Snow. And Aaron McKee again knocks in the 3-point shot from the corner.
I love
He's got
Aaron.
8 points all in the second quarter.
And I love that guy. I mean, you know what? He plays. He doesn't worry about shots and all that kind of stuff. He just plays basketball out there. And when they're there, he doesn't worry. He's not intimidated by Allen's presence or getting mad at him for not taking shots.
Hardaway holds Iverson, who wants The foul, that's what he gets. Hardaway thought it might be a jump ball. Penny picks up his second. No player on the court with more than 2 fouls.
And I wonder if Keith Van Horn saw this against Minnesota, and that might have made him a little bit more sick on the airplane on the way to Phoenix.
Well, what are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything.
But he got the Stoudemire flu.
Maybe so. The Amare bug right there. The Skinner's fixing to get the flu here pretty quick, but you gotta see if he go left. Goes he gets up on the block, and even that last one he missed went straight to his right hand.
Well, these guys are so busy protecting themselves that they're not recognizing where he's going. He reminds me of his physical play as old Gus Johnson, who used to play for the Bullets, in terms of coming to the basket with a threatening kind of offensive attack at you.
I got to tell you guys, I think one of the most intriguing stories in the next couple months in the NBA is Larry Brown picks his all-star team for the Olympic team because Allen Iverson gets selected by the Olympic coach Larry Brown to that ball club.
I think a little jump hook, a little fadeaway jump shot, changes direction on the dribble in the low post. He's got a lot of jump.
Philadelphia's on a 13-3 run right now. It's Marion on top. He's got 6. Hardaway's got 3, and Coleman gets it back.
See, that's the thing that Stoudemire will cause you to do. Coleman is an old veteran. He doesn't want to be embarrassed by it. And really, Coleman got a little bit more aggressive than we've seen him be lately.
Coleman got that ankle retaped, and he's back out on the floor. Amare Stoudemire on Coleman. Puts it back on top where Hardaway finds Marbury. Thomas with the rebound. Here comes Allen Iverson, who is 1 of 8, shooting. Great pass to Buckner outside. Eric Snow. Marbury with the rebound.
Buckner's given him a lot of energy and a lot of good production off the bench so far.
Phoenix is +3 in rebounding tonight. Foul called on Derek Coleman. That's the second on him. No player in this game with more than 2 fouls.
Well, this is Allen in the open court, and I'm telling you, I don't see him aggressively looking for his own shot. I mean, he definitely is more like the old traditional point guard in a couple of these possessions. I kind of like the Allen Iverson that looks to fire and fall back.
Aaron McKee just checks in for Greg Buckner.
Well, you know what I noticed on that replay, too, was Marbury, they were guarding double teaming him in transition.
Nice slam by Sean Marion coming off the baseline. 8 points. What do they say? These might be the most athletic tandem of forwards on any one team.
Well, you've got 2 aggressive bookends, Kevin. Both of those guys are very energetic, very athletic. Marion is really more aggressive than he's playing tonight. He's just coming back off of injury. But you get those 2 bookends playing, attacking the way they're capable of attacking, you got a problem.
Aaron McKee has 10 points in 11 minutes off the bench.
I was asking all the coaches if they'd ever seen any other athletic tandem like this at forward, and nobody could come up with any except Mark Iverson. He said Dr. J and Mark Iverson. That's close.
Yeah, he used to drive the car.
Absolutely sick.
Here's Eric Snow outside. And this rebound by Stephon Marbury. He's got 8 points. And Marion lost it to Coleman. Marion has turned it over 7 times. And Allen Iverson floats in. He is 2 of 9. That's his first field goal since 9:35 left in the first quarter.
Well, and Larry is demanding that they step up and put pressure. He's trying to get more pressure because of the clock going down.
Final seconds of the second quarter for Phoenix. Suns have led by as many as 11. Sixers have led by as many as 4. Marion for 3. Rebound by Snow, and that takes us to halftime. Well, Marion had 8. Stoudemire had 13 in that first half.
And we see the versatility. Marion knocks down outside shots, and here he is going right to the basket. If you're going to come out and guard my outside shot, I'm going to the hole.
Shooting first half here in Phoenix.
Well, that's the different thing about him. I just think that, his attempts are down, but basically I think he's playing a pretty smart game. He's been dishing off. I'm wondering what the game plan is in terms of his lack of aggressiveness right now.
That's what his shots look like.
But see, that's the problem. what his shots look like right there, because usually he would have taken enough to have painted the whole floor.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's right.
You wouldn't have been able to make the distinction. Whenever you can make the distinction of where he took shots, then it's something wrong, because he's taking so many, it looked like the floors had to overhaul it.
Well, you know, and he's having to defend Marbury, and they're defending each other, and that takes a little bit away from their offense. But, you know, I think the story of the first half, Sean Murray in the Matrix isn't playing very well for Phoenix either, especially the second quarter. Had 7 turnovers, and that killed him in the first half.
It did. Let's send it over to Cheryl Miller.
While I'm moving. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Excuse me. First of all, anyways, I spoke to Coach Johnson. He said the main things that they got into trouble with in the first half was that they turned the ball over with 11 turnovers. And secondly, their transition defense. They just didn't get back fast enough. And that meant that Philly was able to get some easier baskets. They just need to tighten up their defense for the second half, guys.
All right, Cheryl, you were moving pretty good, by the way, over there. All right, very quickly. You haven't lost any speed whatsoever. And through 24 minutes of basketball here in Phoenix, some of the numbers: 47% shooting for the 76ers, 42% shooting for the Phoenix Suns. Or 48 and 43, you take your pick.
Well, you see, the free throw is critical. You know, the Suns only got 1 free throw, and the Sixers only got to the free throw line 1 time, and that's because they're forced to take a lot of outside shots. The Suns went to a zone there in the second quarter, and I thought Greg Buckner gave him a big boost off that bench.
Well, and Phoenix will get a lot of free throws because they have one of the best power teams I've seen. Certainly, Stoudemire makes them that because he epitomizes what a power forward is. That word is overused. There are not many guys that play like power forwards anymore, but they attack the basket, attack the basket, attack.
And Sean Marion, who's the top 20 in rebounding and scoring in the NBA, and who's the NBA's #2 scorer in Allen Iverson. Down the lane, off to Kenny Thomas, counted for 2, the assist to Iverson, and Philadelphia goes on top 45-42.
Well, this is a beautiful play. And Allen, people always get on him. Like I said, if he's got guys that can finish for him, he will. He has no choice right there but to pass the ball. Penny Hardaway just late cracking back, should have left the guy open in the corner, but Kenny Thomas does a great job of sealing with that big body of his.
Hardaway has 3 fouls, and he has the most fouls of any player on the floor.
Well, see, Danny, that's my thinking about him at the Olympics. Everybody talks about his selfishness, his style of playing. If you were playing with some of the people he had to play with, you would be selfish. To get out on the break, get back and get the easy baskets. And that was one of the things that Frank Johnson told us, is that he felt that his team offensively needed that kind of basket. Also, the 76ers needed off of their defense.
Here comes Marbury, 5 of 14. He's got 12 points. Looking for Stoudemire, collides into Iverson. Hardaway, Marion for 3. And Coleman reels in the loose ball.
See, that's a standing push shot, jump shot, set shot, whatever that is he's taking. I like him a lot better when he's attacking.
Greg Buckner is in. The Suns are +4 in rebounding. And Buckner fires. Well, he's come off the bench, 13 minutes and 8 points, 4 of 6 from the field.
Another play by Kenny Thomas, drawing the double team and finding Buckner wide open. I don't understand why they don't get the ball to Kenny more touches down there. He's very unselfish. Get the ball to the open shooters on the low post game.
Hardaway tries to set a screen that gets the feed from Stephon. Hardaway has hit 2 in a row. Hardaway tonight has gone 3 of 6. He's got 8 points.
And the game is so simple. He gives a simple ball fake at Allen, who's coming at him from a distance, sidesteps, pulls up, and takes the shot.
76ers in this quarter, 2 of 7 with 6 turnovers from the floor on offense. Missed by Snow.
Another great pass by Kenny Thomas, though. Double team, easy game. It looked like Snow wasn't even ready for the pass.
Marion draws a double.
You got to respect Stephon Marbury, too, because he has a lot of individual skills, and he's running this offense.
Penny Hardaway has knocked down 3 consecutive shots, and he's put the Suns up 56-48. Penny Hardaway with 11 in the game, but 8 have come in this third quarter and provides the offense. The knees may be shot, but the game is still there.
Van Horn being gone.
Coleman lost it after he made the steal. He already has a couple steals tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers. There's Tom Lehman, the golfer. from Minneapolis, now residing here in Arizona. The accomplished golfer, I should say.
He's a great golfer.
A terrific guy. Yeah, wonderful person. Wonderful person. And, his children right there. Out there for the Phoenix Suns, they got Stoudemire, Bo Outlaw, Marion, Marbury, and Hardaway. And the Sixers with McKee, Thomas, Iverson, Coleman, and Craig Buckner. They go inside. Buckner up to Amare Stoudemire, who rocks the rim with a great feed from Sean Marion.
And Sean Marion did an excellent job of pulling across the middle, drawing the defense, and knowing what the defense was going to do ahead of time, and dropped it back to his other bookend there.
Coleman with a move to the rack and picked up by Sean Marion, and rebounding tonight, it is +7 for the Phoenix Suns.
You think that Coleman had seen the scouting report on Amare Stoudemire right there? See how high he shot that little running hook?
Sean Marion collides and fires, and Sean Marion has 14 points, 6 rebounds. He's got 6 points alone in this third quarter.
Well, and he's going aggressively to the basket. That time it was a pull-up shot, but rather than just standing shooting that set shot, I think he either can get somebody a basket or he can attack and get himself one.
The miss by Thomas, the rebound by Stoudemire, who in addition to his great scoring has rebounded well tonight. Marion on the floor playing twister and saves it for Marbury. Hardaway for 3. Between the eyes, Penny Hardaway.
I'm going to tell you, Stephon Marbury is doing one heck of a job of distributing this ball and getting it to people. Steph has the ability to score individually and create himself out there, but he's sacrificing himself, and really it's a tribute to Frank Johnson, the coach, to get him to play that way.
It's a 3 by Allen Iverson. He is 3 of 12 and 8 points tonight.
And it's not been easy to get Steph to play that way. You're right, and they want him to be more of a distributor. But when your guys on your team, and you see Allen scores, and he's going to try to take it that time. But when your guys on your team are making shots like Penny is right now, Sean consistently getting it every night, and the young, exciting player Stoudemire, I tell you what, it makes it a lot more fun to dish.
And that's the result. He's got 15 points, a Phoenix Suns high tonight. 8 rebounds and 1 jaw-dropping jam after another. And he's 20 years old. He's a rookie, maybe the rookie of the year so far in the NBA. Wizards. Here with 2:17 to play in the third quarter, the Phoenix Suns, who have led by as many as 14, lead at 65-54 with Hall of Fame coach John Thompson, NBA champion Danny Ainge, and legend Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. Great to have you with us tonight. Stephon Marbury at the free throw line. The Phoenix Suns have gone 8 of 11.
Result of penetrating, he pulls the defensive players to him. Well, in the meantime, Stoudemire goes to the other side of the basket so that he can put it back in, as opposed to just standing where he was when Marbury can put it back in, as opposed to just standing where he was when Marbury started off. The other interesting thing, everybody talks about comparing him, Danny, to people. This young boy makes plays in traffic. That's the difference between he and a lot of the other power forwards in this league. He's not free doing this power stuff. He's doing it with 2 and 3 people on it.
He's got great hands, and again, he loves contact. But again, another example of Marbury, even though he missed the shot, he made the play through 3 Philadelphia defenders and left the basket open for a rebound.
The ex-Boston Celtic Joe Johnson with the miss. There's a loose ball foul on Bo Outlaw, who picks up his 4th. And Amare Stoudemire, who is on the bench with 17 points and 10 rebounds tonight.
There's Mike Iverson teaching him, but there's Garrick Barr. Garrick Barr is the guy that works in the sweat room in the video.
15. Outside, Marion for 3, and Sean Marion just nails the 7th three-point shot tonight for the Phoenix Suns. The Sixers have hit 4 from downtown.
And that's the guy the Suns should be campaigning for the All-Star team. The guy that's getting 20 and 10, one of 7 guys in the league. Again, I mean, he's doing it all. He's playing good defense. He's rebounding. He always has been a shot blocker in the small forward position, and he's been their most consistent player all year.
Tap in by Kenny Thomas, who leads the Sixers with his 20 points.
So it was a great follow by Kenny Thomas, too, because when Allen drove, he pulled the defense, and he went in and tapped it in. But Allen definitely is working too hard to get his open shots. He's trying to do a lot of it off the dribble as opposed to off of their sets.
McKee with the rebound.
You see how physical Stoudemire is right there. Even though he missed that shot, he was determined, and he just went around Skinner. And he actually showed that he can go left.
This will check in. And Allen Iverson nails his 10th point. Fouled on the play. His first hit from the field in the fourth quarter. Now he'll be at the free throw line. And the second on Stephon Marbury. Tomorrow night, ESPN, Portland, Boston, Denver, Seattle. Saturday, ABC, Philadelphia, taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Then Thursday on TNT, Sacramento, New Jersey, San Antonio, and the Blazers up in Portland.
Ooh, I can't wait. Next Thursday night, those are going to be two great games.
Outstanding games.
Coach, I honestly, I can't see Stoudemire ever becoming a finesse player. I mean, he might be more finesse, but he'll be like Roger Clemens starting to throw change-ups.
Well, I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. To buy into that whole finesse thing as opposed to being a power player.
Shawn Marion has 21. 7 have been registered here in the fourth quarter. Iverson switching to the rack in a foul. John, you know, we've talked about this subject in Allen Iverson before. He takes a beating. For so small, he takes a beating on the floor.
Well, absolutely. He gets pounded a lot out there, but he comes back for more, and that's the thing I respect.
The more high school players that keep coming in, the more old guys are going to be able to play.
Yeah, but the misleading thing about Stoudemire is that, I mean, that talking about high school, this kid would be great if he were coming out of college anywhere. I mean, he's just made to play this game and has the physical and mental attributes, obviously, to play it. But the misleading part about it is that how many high school kids who have less ability are sitting there thinking that they can do what he's doing right now?
Well, I know, and that's the thing. You know, they start grouping high school players all together. They drafted Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, and Kwame Brown, and then everyone said, oh, you know, these high school things aren't working very well. So then this kid comes along, and they don't want to draft a high school player. Well, this is different. This guy's like Kobe or like Kevin or Tracy McGrady. And, you know, you got to take each case different and separately. And, you know, this kid is very, very special. It's going to be fun to watch.
Turnover for the Sixers, their 16th turnover tonight.
I'll tell you what, talking about special, I think Frank Johnson is going to be special too. You know, I love the interview we had with him today and his relationship with the players. I love the way his team looks out here, and above all, how they respond to him.
Marion's got 24, and that is the 8th three-point hit by the Suns tonight.
And, you know, Frank has always been, that's the strength. When I hired Frank as an assistant, when I first took over the job, you know, that was his strength. That was his greatest asset was communication with players. And there's so many facets of coaching. And, Coach, I'd like to ask you, is there anything more important than communicating with players?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. And I think a lot of the players today get a bad knock because a lot of coaches are afraid to communicate with them. One of the things about Frank, I think, is that not only his ability to communicate, but you've got to have something to communicate. A lot of people communicate ignorance to people. I mean, this guy obviously, you know, knows what he's doing. He's got them responding, and they're winning. And
he's got a great staff. You know, I think Brian Colangelo did Frank a great favor. Rookie coach went out and got a Mark Iverson. He's been with Pat Riley, been very well trained. Mike Fratello, and then Mike D'Antoni on the bench over there. Phil Weber, a great workout guy. Excellent coaching staff.
Well, and I think, you know, you look at these guys, both of them, because you look at the guys that are sitting over there with Larry. They've got to talk about Ohio State. You've got Randy Ayers. Ohio State's in town, you know, to play tomorrow for the national championship.
Shawn Marion once again is Hardaway, who is a factor tonight in so many ways, is scoring. Danny, I don't recall seeing him play this well for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Well, you know what? I like how he's just playing. He's just taking what's coming to him. The only thing he's not as good at is defensively. He just doesn't move his feet defensively quite as well and play with that intensity and passion that he did as a young player. But, you know, he's just taking what's there. He's taking open shots, and he's been a very good stabilizing force for this team that plays a little bit wild sometimes.
Here's McKee. He slithers inside, picked up by Bo Outlaw. 11 rebound advantage for the Suns tonight, and that was a factor in this game.
Well, it's a major factor. The fans wanted to see Stoudemire get the ball because they wanted to see him dunk the ball. See, that's what I'm talking about. In traffic, this young man is able to have 3 guys on him but still put the ball on the glass. That's the definition of a power forward. When you see a guy to be able to compete in traffic the way he did with that force.
Well, I'm just glad you guys have finally got a chance to see him in person now. I don't have to like try to, hey, have you ever seen this Stoudemire guy? I'm glad you guys got a chance to see him.
Someone has thrown a live rat out on the floor. This happened the other night in Salt Lake City in a Utah Jazz game. Who's the guy? I smell a rat. Who's the guy that's going to pick it up and take it out? And who has been holding the rat all game long? And what's he been feeding it? Wow.
Was that Cheryl?
Well, and I think whoever it is needs to be incarcerated. I mean, that's just ridiculous when you start throwing anything out on the playing area.
Well, they did this the other night when Philadelphia played in Salt Lake City. Someone in the Utah crowd threw a rat out there on the floor as well.
Well, which becomes dangerous. I mean, we can emphasize the fact that it's a rat, but people try to play, as you know, Kevin, can you top this? You know, somebody else will jump up and try to see if they can do something.
Well, what about an octopus on the ice?
Well, there's some history there.
Well, maybe they're starting some history tonight with the rats.
A couple weeks ago in Philadelphia by 8, winning tonight by 18.
Well, the Suns are playing great, and it's going to be a challenge to them coming up. They got a really tough schedule ahead of them.
And let's go to Cheryl Miller.
It's a little soap and everything, but first of all, first half, it looked like they went in Philadelphia with a lot of momentum. Talk about the defense in the second half, especially on Iverson.
I think we came together and played as a team and contained him, stopped him from getting to the basket like the first half. You know, myself personally, I think I was a little tentative. My ankle been hurting, and I just sucked it up second half. I was mad. I was telling everybody I was mad at myself. Everybody was like, it ain't your fault. It's a team fault. So they picked me up, and we came out the second half with energy. You know, we did what we had to do.
Well, Danny Ainge says that you guys are the best, most athletic forwards in this league. How does that make you feel? I know he's a bit biased. He's a little bit biased.
Yeah, Dan's my man. He cool. You know, we are athletic though. Young boys playing real good for us, and we're just trying to get some wins, baby.
Congratulations, Amare. First of all, let's talk about the last 10 games. It just seems that you stepped up to a different level. What are you doing differently?
I guess I'm comfortable now. You know, when I first started off, I was a little tense, a little nervous out here, but now that the coach believes in me and we do individual workouts after practice, so I feel comfortable now.